Okay, so this is my normal napping area. I've kind of been working up. I probably got 4 to 6 inches of flakes on that bed from the ground up there. And I've just been working at this, I don't know, 4 to 6 years is probably how many flakes this is, but they're just building up. But this is really where I do, again, most of my napping. But when I'm spalling, it's starting to become a problem because I've got a lot of big rocks that are in the way. And all of a sudden, I've got little piles here, little piles there. And it's just kind of getting to be a mess that is not a mess I want to deal with. So I'm starting to make an alternate pile here. And I had an extra piece of pond liner just laying around, so I went ahead and just threw that down as a bottom, and I'll stab a couple holes in it so it drains. And I'm slowly making a back wall here, and this is all usable coral, so if I end up running out one day, I'll just bust these walls down and we'll smack those apart. But again, they're not small heads. There's my shoe, size 14. Big old head of coral there. But as you can see, a lot of this, that looks good, and that's raw. So I've kind of already got this separated. Got a little wall here. All of this is already heat treated over here. I've got heat treated flakes just from my other pile. And then I've got a bunch of pinhead. You guys saw me bust apart like a week ago, or some of you saw me bust that apart. That's all heat treated now, so I'll go ahead and smack that. It works real good. It's got like a nice, this red comes off and there's almost like a yellow wavy color. So it looks really cool. And here's a bunch of other material back here. It's more of like whites, clears, and blues. Small pile, little bifaces and spalls. But again, just to show kind of the material, this is one of those pieces of white. You can see, hopefully you can see the gloss in there. It's not really doing a lot of ripping through the material. It's working really nice, and there's some good polyps in there you can see. And a couple of the flakes. See how translucent those are. So stuff definitely works good, and that's what all of this is. Okay, this is just that's probably 300 pounds worth or something, but I've probably got about, well, I won't tell you how much I've got, but I've got a lot of it. And seems like a telltale sign, at least at this site, and it seems every site, oh man, look at this polyps, love that. Every site is different, but at this one, you see the normal coral structure, right? You see the outside, the polyp tubes and everything. But this had a prehistoric break here, and then it repatinaed. And you can really see, I mean, you can see it not clear as day. It's really smooth, and you can see what's hiding inside, that clear window right there. Just really beautiful, beautiful coral. And a lot of the stuff I just hauled up here to smack apart is just that. This is one, again, this is a huge head, but you can see where it's all smooth here, and you can already see that's really good rock inside there. It's good rock inside there. There's not a bunch of something like that. That's a little less desirable. You see the grain, and we can heat that and it'll still work, but nothing like this other stuff, which you could actually probably work raw. And a lot of times you hit it and there's blues in there and a lot of other pretty cool, desirable colors. So I'm going to smack a lot of this apart. I already got started on some over here, and you can see just raw, it's looking like pretty good material. I mean, it flakes great. Here's a small head that I'm just gonna heat it like this. And there'll probably be some nice blues in there, and I'll just cut that and I'll pressure flake that. Again, there's that smooth side on there. All these are too small. I don't really feel like I need to knock them apart. You can see this is a little less desirable. You can see the chalkiness in there. I'll smack it apart and I'll heat it and I'll see what we can do. But little less desirable there, but the outer stuff is going to be really good. So again, I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, that looks, it's just really good, fine grain. Sledgehammers for really those big boulders, so maybe like that big guy if I can't get it apart with this little guy. And if I want to knock some of these smaller heads apart, I'll use that solid copper bopper there. Excuse me, getting over a little cold here. So I'll just kind of, I got a mount for my phone here. We'll see what we can do about getting this in there. And I usually mess these videos up, so it's about as focused as I can get it on the area. And we'll go to town now. I'm always about a couple tools short here. Found my safety glasses. Somehow one of my goats ate the ear off here, so not trying to look like Maverick out here or anything, but I'm gonna throw on these old sunglasses to do what I gotta do. And I'm also gonna wear a glove. Don't need to really wear pants today. It's really hot out. I know it's the middle of winter, well, December 11th, 12th, something like that. But it's 83 degrees out here in Florida. And that's too hot for pants. Sweat my butt off all day. Honestly, I'll probably go ahead and wear this other glove too. I usually keep my right hand free, but I just bought these. These grip pretty good, so we'll see what we can do. Again, it's one of those heads that has that finish where it broke and remineralized. See right there, something good. So I went ahead and knocked half of it off, and you can see right there, there's not a crack in this. This whole thing just solid, really nice blue, and it's raw, so when I cook it, it's gonna look like blue glass, and looks like the polyp tubes kind of run up, so you're not really seeing polyps this way, but you see the nice lines through it. But I think I'm gonna throw that on my saw. I'm gonna cook it, throw it on my saw, and go ahead and cut it up just out of this rock. Probably 2 knife blades per slab. Probably get like 16, 18 knife blades out of this one piece of rock. So again, if you got a slab saw, try to be efficient. I hate wasting rock. This is just beautiful. All right, so I'm gonna go to town here. What should we start on? These are smaller. This is actually something I'm using as my anvil. I stole it from my other pile. So we'll set our rock on top of there so we can knock stuff off. I'm not sure. This is a weird looking piece of rock. Kind of more amber inside there than that clearish blue. It might be awesome, might not, but I'm gonna go ahead and knock this thing apart. We'll add it to our pile. And again, that's already exposed, so I'm gonna hit this. There's not much meat there. We're not gonna get much if we hit that, but we wanna get that off to get into the rest of it. So maybe that's a sacrifice here to begin. Knock that piece off, we'll set it to the side. And man, that looks like crap inside there. So maybe this wasn't the best piece to do on video. I'll throw this aside, knock it apart later. Even stuff like that, a lot of people, I'm hunting coral and you'll find that sitting out there and people hit it and they say, oh, this is crap. But you'd be shocked what you can get out of a crappy head of coral when you come home and you heat treat it. Because, you know, this is a good example. See how rough and nasty that looks right there. I mean, a lot of people, leave that there. Don't waste your time on that. I don't have my boppers over here, so I'll use this solid copper one. Try not to blow this to smithereens. Let's get some of that cortex off that back. That's all that nasty kind of rind on coral. You can already see it's getting better inside there, right under that nastiness. As you start to work into it, you get all that off of there. And of course, it's going to be better towards the cortex. So, just for a quick example, don't discount what you've got before you get into it. Then use this rock though. This looks like something good inside there. I see a natural split right there. So let's go ahead and knock this hunk off here. You see there's already a natural split, but man, that is high grade. You can just see. It looks really nice inside there. All polyps. So if you nap that this way, you're gonna get really good polyps in there. Some crap that's in that coral. This is all packed down in mud. So a lot of times that's in the crevices when you're knocking it apart. Now we got this. This sure looks like a nice piece right here. It already looks like a little kind of natural seam. So let's knock this triangle off. Set that right here. And we... All right, I like that. Hit it right. I'm gonna tap it right there. Let's see. That did not do what I wanted. I just blew that smithereens, guys. So, don't always get it, but I got a couple pieces out of it. Well, that was comical. Still not too bad, but didn't mean to do that. All right. Knock this punk here off. Got it. It might be able to make something a little out of that. Okay. You can just see those natural cracks. Little one here, but we got to work around that. That's coral. I think this looks like a good knob here. We're going to hit that and knock this face off. We'll do that. Again, gloves are helping tremendously so I don't cut myself. I can see it wanting to come off. There we go. Oh, that came nice. It's that big lobe. Nice clean break off of there. That's going to be a nice point. And again, all polyps showing. Looks really good. This is small enough to put in a roaster right now. So I'll probably go ahead and do that. Or a kiln or whatever the heck you're using. Point is, I wanted to get down enough. Some crap off of there. But people have a hard time clearing this stuff. Knock it off first, it's not so bad. But yeah, I think I'll leave that. So we got that one, at least smaller than it was. Small enough. Go ahead and attack another one. That was funky looking. Ugh. That's probably 15 pounds. Throw this over here. That doesn't look bad. I don't even know where that came from. Accidentally knocked that one off of something. All right. Little piece in here. There might be something hiding in there. It's so translucent. Stick it to the side. Not too much waste. Handful of waste from that one. Get that to the side. All right, all right. Well, this has basically no chalky cortex on this flat side, so we're gonna go ahead and give it a whack right here just to get into it. We'll see if we can get a big piece off of it. Probably not, but who knows. There we go. That was a nice hit. Boom. Not bad. Big lobe. That's what we want. There's a natural seam right here. Doesn't look like it goes all the way to the cortex. So that could be a nice point. Again, all this stuff seems to be just awesome coral. Even though it's not red and blue and whatever other crazy color people seem to want. That's rarer than frog's hair. Go ahead and knock again. That looks like a natural platform, right? Just like you'd make an arrowhead. Let's knock it off. There's a split here, so I'm going to hit on this side. That looks good to me. All off there. I didn't even see any cracks. Here's the little crack right here. Hit right below that. Took it off clean. Probably knocked this little chip off, and then we've got no more cracks. So let's take this piece off, see if we can get a matching lobe. That was pretty nice. Pretty good. Thick enough to do something with. Little weird inclusion in the back, but that'll come right out. And that's solid. I mean, I don't see any cracks in it. So another good one for the pile. I don't really like that platform. Let's knock it off this way. Or that way. See a little crack right there. A little mini weird piece. It's got a crack there. I don't think you can really do anything with it. Ugh. Back's hurting a little bit, but all right, let's knock this piece off here. This is kind of ugly, but I know there's some good stuff hiding under it. I'm gonna hit basically in the middle of this. That's gonna angle this up a little bit. Edge of the hammer. We don't want that flat front with the edge. I cracked it, but it already had some little mini weird pre-cracks in it. I'll heat it anyways, see what we can do. Every time you take that outside lobe off too, that's the best stuff. Some of these are solid all the way through, but a lot of them, you really want that outer core. So I'm gonna knock this down just a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna hit it back this way. It might be a little thin. Those are kind of like flakes, but make something out of them. All right, so we're gonna take this big lobe off down. Nice, thick enough to do something with. I think this is a hard one right here. I'm gonna try from here and try to take this piece off, and then we can hit it the other way. Because that is kind of a cavity right here. I don't think it's gonna come off. That worked good. Nice piece, not too thin, kind of like a patty. And then, see if we can knock this lobe off this way. Getting to where it's kind of hard to hold this thing too. I might be able to hit it just like this. Just hit it away from you. Nope, that didn't work. All right, let's try this again. This way, maybe. Let's see here. That's big enough. Well, no, that's actually just a little bit of the skin. Yeah, maybe. We're definitely getting there, right? We got a little core left. Knock some of this little side off right here. Okay, that's the obvious place to hit right here, and try to take that off. Took that whole side off, and man, is that nice. Wasn't a very big piece, but this is small enough. Again, from our main rock, we could really knock this down. I think I want to take this off, but I don't think I'm really going to use it. So we'll use a little copper bopper here. We'll just take that rind off real quick. Wow, that was nice, right? Could definitely use that as an arrowhead. So, man, maybe I'll use that to spall the rest of this thing. All about the right angle, right? I can't get that angle. All right. All right, and that is definitely a small enough core to go ahead and throw in there. And it's still pretty clean. A lot of those breaks just came off in the outer cortex. So we'll go ahead and set that aside. Little by little, working through these rocks.
had a little bit more wastage. Some of those small pieces aren't going to make much, but it's not too bad to get the rock apart.
Let's do one more. Woo, I told you guys it's hot out here. Oh, that one's ugly. I don't know if I want to do that one. Oh. Oh, how good that is. And knock this one apart. Looks kind of good. Looks kind of small. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's just so fine grained. Again, you could probably just work that raw if you wanted to and you were really good. It'll work way better not raw, but it's going to be kind of blue. You can tell it's not white. Oh, that's a nice one right there. Take the end off here. Another big piece of here. I always look, because if you don't see a lot of cracks, you might just leave this whole, cook it like this. It's looking really good and really blue. A lot of the smaller ones are going to be more agatized, so you might throw it on your saw if it's really good. Oh man, you can see I didn't really notice, but yeah, maybe I should have worn pants. Bleeding a little bit, just a little tiny cut, but nothing serious. Nice, boom. Doesn't look as good because it kind of tore through the material, but that's just how you hit it. So that's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna leave that, heat it just like that, small enough. Got a nice little pile here though. Once we got this thing, I have any idea what this one looks like. It looked interesting. The outside of it almost looks like concrete. Million little peck marks, but also could have been from machinery, maybe not from Indians. But I don't know, it looks like peck marks that are mineralized, so it could be from ancient natives hitting pieces off of this to make something cool. So we'll see. Let's knock this lobe off here. Doesn't look very good. Might be good. It's kind of clearish, but that was an old break because this is all mineralized on the inside. Let's try that again. There we go. Oh, you can see the inside of that. Not very desirable. Set this to the side. White, kind of pithy, kind of chalky. Probably still heat it, but it's nothing like that other rock. So this can go over here. Whoops. Another one, I guarantee this is, I can just see the blue in here. I don't even think I'm going to knock that apart. I'm just going to heat that. Another small guy. There's one we can knock apart. Again, not a whole lot to spalling. Maybe pick appropriate weather. And just use the right size spalling hammer. We're not wasting too much so far for the pile we've got. That's a good looking pile. Again, smooth side. That's why I brought this up here from my main stash. Let's see what we can do here. I think just a solid hit right there would probably do good. Take something off of that way. There's a crack here. There's a crack here. So this thing might just blow up or might come out great. Let's see what happens. Whew. I need an actual anvil out here one day. I'll stop using a rock. Nice. Cracked it clear down the whole face.
There's definitely a couple little fractures in there. Well, you heat it and you try to work through it. Sometimes they're healed, sometimes they suck. But that's got us into that rock. That was nice. Now let's just knock this whole lobe off here. Yeah, I'll probably do it from this side. Nice, right? Boom. I say right like you're gonna reply to me. All right. Honestly, and then this is a big old biface right now. This hunk needs to come off. How are we gonna get that hunk off? We're gonna hit it from one side or the other. I think the other side's gonna be better. Foot on the back, hit it away. Didn't do what I wanted. It just kind of ate in right there. So I'll take it from this side. Well, it's being tough. Re-examine the angle you're hitting it from. Just hit from down here again, just like bifacing. So all right, we don't have a good platform. Let's try from down here a little more. That was a good one. All right. And I have a problem with this too sometimes, where I go from, you know, napping to spalling. You really got to hit it in a lot further. You're not trying to take off a thin little flake. You're trying to remove some material. Boy, that's pretty. Just work around a couple cracks in there. That's coming off. Now, just kind of hit it up higher. Got it. Little crack there, but man, we're going to try to work through that. Now, maybe we won't work through that because there's a big crack, but I'll knock that piece off going down. Got it. So, a little uglier, but that's not going to be workable. Set that there. Yeah, I'm going to take, I could probably just leave that, but I'm going to take this piece off. See if I can just knock a big lobe off of there. Like that. Got it. Try heating that. And then I think I'm to do the last one like that. Hitting it flat with the end of the hammer. I want to hit it with the corner. There we go. And it really didn't do what I wanted, but definitely smaller. Again, I can, well, heck, after you heat it, real easy. Just take a couple more of these off. But you might be left with a big old 8-inch Noonan or something, so leave that there for now. All right, well, that's spalling for today. Let me grab my bopper over here for just a minute. Again, you can see, doesn't make too much of a mess, I guess, but this is all raw stuff. And pretty much everything I got in my other pile is cooked. It's all cooked flakes. If I ever want to go back through and make little arrowheads or something like that, definitely can. All right. So let's look at some of this ugly stuff and just get an idea what it looks like afterwards. Maybe just a good piece. It looks pretty rough. It's looking pretty to me. I mean, white, that's ugly, nasty, kind of chalky cortex. The rest of that stuff, it looks rough, but it looks good. It's cooked. So we're gonna knock a couple pieces off of this, see what it looks like. Crack right there, but oh. You can tell just by that noise it's good. Oh man. Look at that. This is that boulder I just smacked apart the other day. And you can see the blue in there and with the orange. And man, it hit nice. Definitely taking good flakes. A lot slicker. I can't see because of the shade. A lot slicker than this because, of course, now a flake's been taken off of it. Definitely some good stuff. But the blue is literally under a thin layer right under that cortex.
So you want to leave blue in the piece. You got to move from this way down. You got to work down towards that cortex, and hopefully you leave a little bit of that, a little bit, oh, I can't even talk right now. You can see that natural platform right here. It just wants to take some cortex off. Guarantee there'll be a lot of blue in this. You can just see, because it's right under that cortex. But again, a lot of times you keep working through. I see a natural cut right there. Hopefully that's not too deep, but you keep working through, and a lot of times the cool color actually comes out of it. But that's good. That's all that stuff from last week. It looks a little yellow. Some of this stuff's a little redder. I think it just got a little hotter. A bunch of stuff. But I'd keep talking all day. I also have a whole bucket here of, it's actually really good colorful stuff, but it's small. You can tell how slick that is. It's super slick, super good stuff. Some of these are really tiny little heads. They're all colorful though. You just wouldn't know. So this I think is great for indirect percussion. You know, get started with a tiny indirect percussion piece, and oh man, you see what's inside there? That's like amazing color. It's hard to get that on bigger stuff, especially that finely agatized. It's just glass. So I got a couple buckets of that full. Slowly working through it, trying to make some good stuff. It's just hard. That's the whole piece. You can see it's got good color in it, but they're tiny. So you got to know what you're doing. Probably not go at it with a big bopper like this. This is actually, you can just see how slick and grid that is. This is some other kind of chert, bay bottom chert. Got some of that mixed in. But again, that's what the coral looked like. You know, there's a lot of little pieces like this, and you can see the color in there. If you got it and you can work it, get a little corner off, get started. I broke a lot of this stuff, but look at the color in there. Nice orange slick glass. So that's what I got for this round. If you guys got any questions, shoot me an email or write me.